Tuesday, November 8th. This is a pre-opening SPY report, about 50 minutes before the open. Also a little bit of a recap from yesterday. You can see yesterday it was a relatively small green day to the upside. I kind of left in the yesterday's pre-market lines here, so you can see for most of, and I'll show you in a second, we stayed above the midpoint of the prior day all session long, and we were kind of inside these bars, and at the very end we broke out to the upside for a little upside bias there. And if you look at the 15-minute chart yesterday, you can see here we opened up a little red, then we bounced around, we were going sideways all session, and then there was finally the breakout at the end, which caused a little green day. So it was kind of tough to decide what was happening all day. And then you had a little bit of a bias to the upside, and you can see here now we're kind of working our way a little higher overnight. To me, what's developing still, here are the lines. I guess we're looking at that. So today's pre-market action is kind of above the midpoint of yesterday at the moment. I still see the idea, there's no real actionable signal unless we go to the downside still. And right now what we're trying to do, if you look at this red daily bar, we're trying to kind of broaden out above that area right there. If that would happen, we kind of turn the monthly chart green. This is the blue purple line that causes that to happen. At the moment on the monthly chart, we're still a little bit red, but we still have a 2 up bar that I've discussed in the big picture that just kind of came down to the halfway point of yesterday's month, and maybe by the end of the month we work higher towards our target here, which is up here. So we still have a lot of time to turn this green, but we're not there yet. A weekly chart is still, after Monday's action yesterday, is still just a little inside bar after this broadening action to the downside. Now we're just kind of inside of that, so it's tough to say where this one's heading, but we will kind of monitor this green line here, which is the open of the week. I'll show you that. This is kind of the line here now, the open of yesterday, that we kind of monitor. As long as we hold above that, then we're going to stay biased to the upside. We'll see if we can get a break out of this pre-market range to the upside. We see if we can broaden out above that. We're trying to get a compound broadening of this bar. It looks a little tricky. We're just grinding up slowly, so it almost looks like more of a bear flag within that bar. So to me, still the best signal within this environment, should it develop, would be some kind of failure to the upside, where maybe we start up above this area, then come below the halfway point of this bar yesterday, which is below the the pre-market range. So if we can get some kind of up move that eventually somewhere in the day fails to the upside, that could set the stage for getting ready for a 2 down day. A 2 down day then has these targets down here, and then at that point, we can really see if we come down to the yellow line here, which is a key line in terms of turning the getting ready to set this broadening action back down all the way to the downside. So we're kind of monitoring that. So given this price action here, I still think the ideal signal would be we're in a fair value gap. You can see here between the low of this bar and high of this bar, we're in that area where it could reverse to the downside. But until that happens, we kind of play the upside, see if we can continue broadening higher, which is this target, is the next target. But if we just can't reach it after grinding up maybe 2, 3, 4 days and then turn lower, that to me would be a stronger signal that's developing. But we'll see what happens today. Stick with the upside bias a little bit, but always be on the lookout for a failure, to move up, taking out this pre-market low, which is that close to the halfway point of yesterday, which would then signal a move to that, lower low of yesterday, and might signal, then all of a sudden you get targets down here and bigger picture targets, to really head to the downside. So we'll watch for that. But for now, just grinding higher at the moment.